Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the 4 most common myths and misconceptions of having Hashimoto's disease. I know what it feels like to feel overwhelmed and frustrated when you're newly diagnosed. And I also know what it feels like to be a little bit lost and confused as to what's happening and what's going on. So I'm going to give you my top 4 myths and misconceptions that typically happen that I see with people when they are newly diagnosed. And before I get into that, make sure you subscribe and like this video to stay up to date on all the videos coming out. All right, let's get into it. So number 1 myth and misconception is that medication is the only solution to feeling better. A lot of times we get the picture that taking medication is going to reverse all of our symptoms and we're gonna feel miraculously better. We've been conditioned by Western medical society that we just take a pill for every solution we have, and while thyroid medication may be necessary, it is not the only solution to feeling better. And a big misconception is that it can lower your antibodies. Your antibodies or your thyroid peroxidase antibodies are what typically diagnose you with Hashimoto's disease, and the thyroid medication will not lower these because this is your immune system that needs help, not the thyroid. And misconception number 2 is that your doctor knows what's best for your body. I know this is a big, hard pill to swallow, but doctors don't know everything and they don't know what's best for your body, especially conventionally trained ones, because they haven't been educated on the root causes of why you have thyroid issues or why you have an autoimmune condition in the first place. They have been trained to prescribe and adjust, and they haven't been trained on what is actually happening in the body and solutions for it. So that is often why you feel frustrated, you feel like your doctor doesn't hear you, you feel like they don't understand. And there's 2 components of this. 1, they don't have the education on it, and 2, they have only been taught to prescribe and adjust medication. That is all their training is, because the reality is there's no money in healthy people, right? They make money off of pharmaceutical medication, and the healthier you are, the less money they make. So oftentimes they will not improperly diagnose you or not even run your TPO antibodies to diagnose you with Hashimoto's disease. And this is because simply they don't know what to do with those. They don't know what to do with your elevated antibodies because all they've been trained to do is to prescribe and adjust that medication. So they don't really have a lot of tools under their belt to lower those markers. Number 3 misconception and myth is that you've been told to just eat less and exercise more. And I'm here to tell you that couldn't be further from the truth of what you need to do to feel better. A lot of times women with Hashimoto's have been told, like, you just need to eat less, exercise more, and you'll lose all this weight. And unfortunately, that is not what happens. When that happens, that increases cortisol, our stress hormone. It actually makes us more anxious, and it can actually keep more weight on the body when we're doing that. We don't want to be restricting. We don't want to be overextending our bodies in any way, even especially with exercise. So we actually want to nourish and get more nutrients in our body, and we want to have the right foods in our body. And eating less actually puts us in a state of nervous system dysregulation where our cortisol goes up, which is our stress hormone, and it can cause a lot of symptoms like anxiety and weight gain when we are not getting adequate nutrients. And when we are exercising too much, for example, HIIT workouts, CrossFit, really hardcore exercises, those actually cause our cortisol to go up as well, which is our stress hormone. And when we're already in a state of stress and then we're pushing our bodies at the gym harder and harder and harder, this causes more inflammation in the body. And so we really want to stick with gentle movements. So nourishing foods and gentle movements is the better route for that. So not eating less and exercising more. And the fourth myth and misconception is that there's only one root cause. So once you start to go down this path and you start to learn more about Hashimoto's and learn more about why your thyroid isn't working, you start to learn a lot about the different root causes of what could be. And a lot of people think there's just this one thing that's causing it. And I'm here to tell you, it's not just one thing. I've never seen it with any of my clients. What I like to call it is an accumulation of physical and emotional toxins. So by the time you get diagnosed with Hashimoto's disease, the body is seeing all of these things physically and emotionally that it doesn't recognize. And therefore the body is waving the red flag saying, I need your help, please pay attention, I need your support. And unfortunately, it's not just one thing. A lot of times we're like, I just need to change my diet, or I just need to go after this one thing that showed up on a test. And after working with hundreds of women, I have seen all the things, and it is all the things. It is both the physical and the emotional toxins all combined together that create the dis-ease in the body. The good news is we can shift this, we can be healthy, and we can peel back the layers to feel good again. And I do want to disrupt that myth that you're gonna be like this forever, because that is absolutely not true at all. You can feel good, and I am living proof of it. I have seen hundreds of women feel the same way, where they've reversed their symptoms and feel good, because ultimately when we take our power back and we stop letting our medical system control our decisions and choices, and we take our health into our own hands, that's truly when we start to feel better, and that's truly when we reverse our symptoms. So I'm going to be teaching you lots of different tips and tools for that. And I hope this video was helpful in kind of navigating all of the myths and misconceptions. If there's any other misconceptions maybe you've had, let me know. There's a lot of them out there that I see, but I wanted to touch on the most common ones that I hear from the Hashimoto's community.